Welcome to DDL, where we discuss everyday topics like current events and/or controversial points of view. This is No, I'm Void. First things first, shout out to our sponsor, Candle Time. Head over to the link in the description to purchase a candle today.
And welcome back, DDL. Sorry for the hiatus. Got busy with the holidays and then work and figuring out the stuff with Void and trying to figure out whether or not he's going to be coming back, which right now he's working hard on his family and his personal stuff. So probably for the next foreseeable future, he is not going to be coming back. Hoping that he does return. That was a pleasure speaking with him, going over this stuff. So we are going to be doing, I'm going to be doing this more or less myself. Moo's going to be joining every now and again when she wants to. My eldest son, I'm trying to convince him because we have some really interesting conversations regarding like fascism, ancient Roman, the Roman Empire, the fall of the Republic, the rise of the Empire, who's responsible, blah, 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 all that fun jazz. Nero getting in, we have some deep conversations about it. What I think is hilarious is he's 14 years old, and the dude is smarter than most adults I know, which is not, I guess, not that hard to do at this day and age when everyone's, whatever. But hold on one second, everybody. What's up? Your jacket's on the counter, okay?
Which counter?
Right at the top of the stairs. Sorry about that. So, everybody knows Donald Trump got reelected. He has been confirmed. He's been inaugurated, and it's just over a month now since he's been in office, and Facebook and all social media is just going absolutely crazy. There's the left and the right. The left is full of just lies and Delulu, living in Delulu land. So I want to cover a little bit of that. I'm going to go on a couple of the Facebook and just kind of correct them. I do also want to get over to some of the right-wing stuff because, there's plenty of right-wingers that are just like, he can do no wrong. And he is doing some things good. He's doing some things bad, just like any other normal person. But the level of hate that the left has, I mean, that whole Zelensky thing where he was in the White House or in the Oval Office and, that whole spiel and then what the left's taken out of it and what's the right's taken out of it. It's just like, the left's sitting here saying like, oh, you can't be nice to Putin in any way, shape, or form. Well, if you can't be nice to Putin, we're never going to be able to find a middle ground, some way to end all this death and destruction that's going on over there. So they're stuck in their emotions. They hate these people so much that they can't get out of their emotions to realize that like life is valuable and we got to do something to get an off ramp. We're going down this road and we need to take an off ramp. And these people don't want to even offer the off ramp because they're so filled with vitriol and hatred that they're willing to let more people die in the world so that way they can feel like they're doing something. I stand with Ukraine. Okay, cool. You can stand with Ukraine, but you also got to realize that Putin has to come to the table in order to figure out some way to get this done, to get this down. Because if you're only going to stand with Ukraine and you're going to just sit here and call Putin a dictator, all you're doing is asking for World War III. There has to be some other method. So if that's what you truly want, if you want that death and destruction, you want to step into World War III, just then actively call for it. Quit beating around the bush. Quit doing all this other crap. Get out of your emotions if you don't, and realize that, hey, you know what? All these people suck. Just deal with it, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the Facebook stuff, man. This stuff's crazy. So I'm gonna bring us over here. So this is the Donald Trump is a hate crime, and I've read through some of these posts, and these posts are just crazy. Oh, like, and just like that, MAGA stopped caring about the Epstein files, right? In some of these comments, probably because MAGA and Trump were in on it. Epstein files came out. Pam Bondi's a little upset because of how the amount of redactions that are done on it. The MAGA people are excited. They're happy that they came out. They're disappointed that there's so many redactions. So, again, pretty much anything, if it's coming from a left-wing source, is going to be lies. It's going to be twisted in some way, shape, or form to get you to bite onto it, to grab with the emotion. But this is just not true. MAGA did not stop caring about this stuff. There's so many people out here that are actually caring about the Epstein stuff. Oh, let's see. And just like that, MAGA doesn't care about the Epstein drop. They're openly mocking their own voters, and the stupid sons of beachies don't seem to have noticed. Can you believe the GOP House Judiciary Committee rickrolled their own voters with the fake Epstein files drop? What fake Epstein files drop? It dropped them. They dropped them. It's redacted, not as clear or as transparent as a lot of people are wanting, but they're dropped. So again, like I said, lies. Shit show. What? Yeah, let's see. Statement from President Donald J. Trump. We had a very meaningful meeting in the White House today. Much as was learned that could never be understood without conversation under such fire and pressure. It's amazing what comes through emotion, and I have determined that President Zelensky is not ready for peace if America is involved, because he feels our involvement gives him a big advantage in negotiations. I don't want advantage, I want peace. He disrespected the United States of America in his cherished Oval Office. He can come back when he's ready for peace. And they're saying, translation, Putin's dick tastes way better. Again, it's not anything what he's saying. Like, oh my gosh, these people, they live in Delulu land. Trump, from day one, has been trying to figure out a way to end the death over there. And these left-wing radicals are just so focused on being able to call him a dictator, Putin a dictator, claiming that Trump's a freaking Russian asset, all this stuff. That's just nonsense. And it's a non-starter for getting any of this stuff going. I watched that 11-minute, 12-minute video where Zelensky, Vance, and Trump were all in the office. And, I don't think it was the best conversation that ever happened. But it definitely was an improvement upon what Biden and the Democrats were doing, stealing our tax dollars and just corruptly funneling it over to Ukraine in order to prolong this war and make money on the backs of hardworking Americans. We just kept funding more and more death. And, as an American taxpayer, I don't want to be funding death. I don't necessarily agree with what Putin did. I don't agree with how Zelensky's handling it. I don't agree with how Putin's handling it. I definitely didn't agree how the Biden administration was handling it. And, we have to figure out some way to get the on and off ramp on this one before we end up in World War III. Oh, what else? What else can any of us do to make a lasting impact? Because it is true, moving your normal buying around on the calendar by one day is absolutely pointless. What? Yeah, let's just... Again. Yeah, the call to action is dumb. The left is way better than the right in calling to action and getting things done. So let's see. In case you thought Trump could not get more disgusting, what trash. Greedy old pervert Donald Trump. Again, these guys are just not above calling names. And the funny thing is, like, I remember I'm getting into these Facebook conversations and pointing out that, like, hey, you're allowing your emotion to dictate. Like, you're allowing your hatred for Putin to dictate your course of action. And for the simple fact of pointing out that their emotions are involved, oh, you're gaslighting, you're manipulating. No, I'm trying to clearly state that you are allowing your emotions to affect your logical thinking skills, and you are calling for the death of more people in order for you to feel satisfied, in order with being able to call Putin a dictator, right? So again, greedy old pervert Donald Trump has secured the release and return of brutally violent rapists Andrew and Tristan Tate. Huh, that's interesting. I can't remember who I was watching that actually broke this down. It was a lawyer that actually broke down the charges. What was it? In Romania, I think they were charged in, if I remember correctly. And uh, if I remember correctly, they could not produce a single victim, a person that actually would file it. The Romanian government, I guess, was saying that they were going to charge them based on no victims or whatever. And I remember the one woman that supposedly started all this was actually engaged, ended up being over there and was not happy with the way she was being treated, but she was out like getting pizzas and stuff. I don't know. It's a whole mess. But the left doesn't care about actually looking into the details. They just want you to see this greedy old pervert Donald Trump secure the release and return of the brutally violent rapist Andrew and Tristan Tate. None of that is factually true. But they don't care if it's factually true or not. They run on emotion. Let's see. He just loves his fellow. It's so dumb. Like these people are just delulu. Oh, so let's see. It is very, very, very clear that GOP leadership and none more than Trump himself considers the voters to be absolutely credulous fools. For that, we diagnose him with stopped clock syndrome. Holy cow, President Trump announces he will be removing all golden retrievers that are currently playing basketball on the NBA roster. What? Holy cow, President Trump announces he will be removing all illegal aliens that are currently on Social Security. I'm a little confused as to why that's a bad thing. If you believe anything Trump or Musk says, you are a special kind of stupid. Yeah. God, these people are dumb. Illegal aliens don't have Social Security number. More bullets from the iron sheet. Actually, you know what? I do know people that don't have a Social Security number that still receive Social Security benefits. Just saying. I wonder how many gullible people would fall for that BS. Illegal immigrants can't get, again, delulu. It's like these people don't live in reality. They don't understand what's going on. Wow. Okay, so basically the comments are filled with idiots. Got it. Hey, Mega, it's been over a month since day one. Care to explain the steps, comrade? As we raise the prices or lower inflation, please be specific. Yeah, actually, I was at the store, was it maybe 4 or 5 days ago, and my cart was visibly fuller for the same amount of money I was spending 8 months ago. Visibly fuller for the same amount of money. Sure, there are certain items that we got the avian flu going on, so eggs are high and whatnot. But yeah, gas prices. I drive a lot for work. I think if you guys remember any of the stuff from over, you know I'm driving at least 5,000 miles a month. Gas prices are lower. Like, yeah, dumb. It's just dumb. Biden's economy was so great. Yeah, my ass. Oh, let's see. Okay, cool. Yeah. If you ever wonder what you could have done during the 19th, so this is interesting. Oh my God, this is interesting. This actually gets into this whole fascist debate, and it sparked a really good conversation with my 14-year-old and I. And I am thinking next weekend when I have time, I'm going to actually sit down and actually put together a video for you guys that walks through what fascism is. Fascism is one of the newer political models that actually come up, political parties, political models, however you want to describe it. And the interesting thing is it's always put on the right, which it should be on the right because of the tenet of nationalism that's involved in it. However, if you look at any of the other aspects of this, you would be surprised to see how much actually correlates to communism as well. Both are authoritarianist in nature. However, what I find absolutely crazy, and this post is kind of bringing it up, is they always like to refer to Trump as Hitler, but it's not even close. It's actually really not even close, because the only tenet that Trump actually hits on the fascist political system is nationalism. Other than that, he doesn't fit any of the others. He's non-authoritarian. He is pro government interference with the economy. Yeah, there's just, we'll dive into it. That one deserves its own special time, because it's quite ridiculous how little the American people actually have an understanding of what the different political systems are. And if you actually look at the tactics that the left uses versus the right uses, and I'm referring to the right now as the MAGA, because those are the kind of the ones that are coalesced around the administration. The tactics that MAGA uses is non-fascistic, but the tactics the left uses is very fascistic. That doesn't mean the left is fascist. The left is not fascist. The left is actually communist. However, communist tactics and fascist tactics actually are almost identical. You know, and they like to hide what they're doing, like Antifa, right? Antifa stands for anti-fascist. The sad part about it is they're authoritarianist. They use the tactics that the black shirts and the brown shirts. If you don't know what those are, go look those up. But those are the Mussolini was the black shirts, and Hitler was actually the brown shirts. Those were the ones that were the political party's way to enforce social cohesion. So Antifa actually uses the exact same tactics that the brown shirts and the black shirts use. And yeah, so it's very interesting. It's very telling. Pretty much at this point in our lives in America, if you think that the left, whatever the left is saying that they don't do, they're absolutely doing. If they say the right's doing it, they're the ones actually doing it. So it's almost a comedic at this time, how much the left lies and obfuscates what's really going on and tries to pin it on the right. And the sad part is the right no longer is the right in America. The right used to be Republicans. The right used to be the authoritarianist on the laissez-faire capitalists, all this stuff. But none of them, the right no longer incorporates all of that. They also include, like me, I'm not on the right wing. I'm fairly libertarian, a little bit. There's some aspects of liberalism that I do like, but yeah, it's definitely not the right wing as we used to know it. We have a lot of moderate people in there, a lot of independents, a lot of libertarians. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So let's switch over off of Donald Trump as a hate crime and look at Occupy Democrats. Occupy Democrats, I laugh so hard at these posts. Oh, so let's see. Seen at a parade in Germany. A Russia bear mounts Putin puppet Trump. This is how the world sees us now. Actually, it's not how the world sees us now. It's how you want the world to see us. The left wing is radical. Musk says there's massive waste and fraud in Social Security. Not true. Musk says Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. Not true. Actually, what is a Ponzi scheme? I'm going to pause right here. What is a Ponzi scheme? Ponzi scheme is basically you're getting money from one person and using it for this, and then the next person is paying in who pay back the other person, right? It's just passing the buck along. What is Social Security? You pay into it right now. Anyone who's working is paying into Social Security. That money that we're paying in right now is paying for the people that are receiving the Social Security. When we enter into our 60s and go on Social Security, our dollar is not the what's paying us. It's the people. It's the work that the person in the next generation is putting on us. So, again, how you can see how these people don't have a full grasp on reality. They like to use inflammatory wording in order to create this, like, oh, it's not true, or it's this. It's dumb. A Ponzi scheme is an accurate way to describe what Social Security is. Does that mean that it has a negative connotations to it, like the Ponzi scheme references? No. But Ponzi scheme, the way a Ponzi scheme works, is the same way Social Security works. So, again, it's whatever. So what is the goal of this disinformation campaign? To privatize the most successful government program in history and give it... oh my God, it's not the most successful government program in history. Yeah. Wow. FDR was not that good of a president. South Carolina is burning. Donald Trump is golfing. Every time something's going on, Donald Trump's always golfing. Because guess what? Donald Trump golfs. And guess what happens on the golf course? I know this because I golf. Business gets done on the golf course, guys. Just saying. J.D. Vance got a very unpleasant surprise. I can't stop laughing that protesters with signs at Sugar Brush in Vermont sent J.D. Vance into hiding during his ski trip. Interesting. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I would imagine it's not accurate, but, just from the simple fact it's unoccupied Democrats makes me think that it's not true. What a split screen. World leaders unite to support Ukraine and stand against authoritarianism. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is golfing in Florida. I think we've bashed enough of these Ukraine people that are 100% back Ukraine no matter what. Don't find an off ramp. Don't de-escalate. Don't do any of this stuff. I think we've covered enough of this. This is just stupid. Fun fact, Zelensky was the only man in the room without makeup on. How do you know that? Again, also what who cares? I guess. I have a lot of problems in life, but not a single one of them is caused by a single mom using food stamps to feed her kids or an elderly man who's worked his entire life to get $800 per month on Social Security. I have a lot of problems in life. And I don't disagree with your sentiment there. However, where I would disagree with you is these programs take from American people to redistribute to other American people. It used to be back in the day that the security net was the community. The community would come together to support people in need. And somewhere, I peg it around FDR, we started relying on the government to take care of everyone else. Right? So now, people who don't know or don't have any close relation, I live in Idaho. Idaho tax dollar, or I pay Idaho tax, I pay federal tax. My money that I make in Idaho, I'm being stolen from the government to fund different things in different areas of the country. Rather than letting me determine what is best for my community with my earnings, the government is telling me they know better. And unfortunately, the government really doesn't know better than what you need, what your neighbor needs, what your children need, what your sister, your brother, your mom, your dad. It doesn't care about the family unit. It just cares about taking money from people to redistribute, i.e. communism. I see. Okay, enough of this one. Let's jump over to this. Again, live in Idaho. So here's Governor Brad Little's post. President Trump, thank you for your support. Idaho is now the first state to offer school choice from kindergarten to career. Congratulations to Governor Brad Little and Idaho legislators who are fighting to bring school choice to the beautiful state. $50 million to empower parents to provide the very best education education for their child. Great news for Idaho families. This bill, which has my complete and total support, must pass. And it did pass. It's House Bill 93, I believe. Yeah. Let me see. House Bill 93. Revenue and Tax Committee. So basically, this is not how I thought school choice was going to go. And this is kind of big. This is kind of big in Idaho right now. There's a lot of people that are pissed off about it, and there's a lot of people that are happy with it. And I'm kind of just like, this is not exactly how I would have done this, but whatever. So basically, Section 1 is the intent. The intent is the legislator that parents in the state be able to choose educational services that meet the needs of their individual children. The legislator affirms that parents have a fundamental right recognized by Section 32-1010 Idaho Code to nurture and direct their children's education. The legislator further finds that because some parents cannot initially afford qualified expenses, parents whose taxable income does not exceed 300% of the federal poverty level may request an advance payment of the Idaho Parental Choice Tax Credit to pay for all or portion of eligible students' qualified expenses. So basically, this is their way of figuring out how to put a voucher program into place. I'm not 100% sure it actually does this after reading it. But the intent behind it makes a lot of sense. Our education system, and I know people that are teachers, and I'm not trying to dog on you guys, I'm not trying to harp on you, but our education system has been destroyed, absolutely destroyed. Homeschooling, I think, is a very good choice. Avoid homeschools, and I think it's a very great thing to do. I don't like how the education system, it has a union that basically fights the government but they're employees of the government. All of it's dumb. Needless to say, everyone likes to sit here and say that school choice is going to be detrimental to low-income families, for the blacks, the browns, all minority groups. But this is what the left does. It always targets the minority groups and says that they're going to be the ones that are going to be harmed by all this. In my mind, if you're putting a voucher program into place, and these children are being forced to go to a school that does not take the time and help them do the way that they need to do, but their parents can't bring them into a different school district to get them the education that they want for their child, a voucher program opens that up. Now you can say, okay, you know what? It's a little far, but let's get on the bus and take you to the next school district over, because they actually have a very good math program or something like that, whatever it is. Again, it's designed to keep control in the school boards, or to the unions, the school unions. It's our education system is absolutely a joke, and a lot of it has to boil down to the simple fact that there's unions, that they don't teach basic things anymore. Home ecs, you can't even do home ec in school anymore, as far as I know. None of my kids' programs have home ec in it. Shop class seems to be gone to the wayside. The math, they changed math quite a bit, and it's really interesting how they're trying to explain it, but sorry, getting disturbed. But anyway, yeah, you can go through here and look at the tax credits and everything that they're trying to do, and it's absolutely bonkers what's going on. The left is living in Delulu land. The right, not as much, but definitely the right needs to stop thinking that everything Donald Trump's doing is great. We can get into the immigration stuff. I was a proponent for deportations, but my understanding for those deportations were going to be, starting with the violent criminals, the gang members, the ones already in prison, the ones selling drugs, those types of things. And the reports and firsthand knowledge that I have of people that are waiting to get through the immigration process that are, yes, technically here illegally, but have been working or in providing into the community, those ones should not be targeted right away. And unfortunately they are. So, I mean, there's a disconnect. There's some good, there's some bad. So, I just can't believe how much ignorant people sit here and want to post these things online and do these and argue and whatnot. It's just it is really driving me to the point where we have to figure out a better way to elect our representatives, because if we have an uneducated populace that really is, the simple fact is these people like to sit here and say that we're a democracy. We're not a democracy. I understand what you're trying to say, but you're wrong. We are a constitutional republic. Majority does not rule. If you really want a majority rule, what you are doing is you are saying that as long as I can convince enough people, you will never be able to be safe in this country again. And that is honestly what the left is saying. When the left sits here and says that their democracy is under threat, they're not talking about the moderates. They're not talking about the libertarians. They're not talking about the Republicans. They're not talking about anyone other than the Liberal Party. Because the Liberal Party wants full control and be able to tell you by majority rule what you can and can't do. They are an authoritarian, communistic party. And unfortunately, for that party, I don't see much of a future for them anymore. The backlash after the failed policies of the Biden administration and the corrupt legislative branches of the Democratic Party the last 4 years was pretty apparent. There was a red wave. And people are sick of gender politics. They're sick of the identity politics. They're sick of the hate. They're sick of trying to turn everyone against each other. It doesn't, this whole DEI stuff, and I'm going to get into DEI at some point, but this DEI stuff is really flabbergasted me beyond belief. I've always thought it kind of makes some sense to help try righting some wrongs of the past. But what I've noticed as I've grown is it's never about righting. It's never enough. What it's done is it's turned into a tool to actually be racist against other people. And the more and more I think about it, and the more and more I think back on the 1964 Civil Rights Act, the more I see what's going on with the Asian students in being denied college access because they're Asian, and they automatically lose points for the simple fact that they're Asian. There's just so much corruptness in this that these identity politics, the identity should not mean anything. MLK had it right. The content of your character is so much more important than the color of your skin. And unfortunately, the left has not learned that yet. The left has continually pushed that how you look, things that you can't control, your skin color, you cannot control. That means more about you as a person than who you actually are. To me, that is absolutely insane. It's disrespectful to the person. It's disrespectful to everyone involved. And I'm done with it. I'm done playing these politically correct games just to go along to get along. It's asinine. So there's my rant. There's my rave. Yeah. Sorry. Just FYI, I will be changing this to only dropping 2 videos a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, probably around 2 p.m. So yeah, let's end it here, and then I will keep working on this stuff. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you for watching. Till next time.
Peace.